And just start by taking some nice full deep breaths. Nice and comfortable. You might like to start by breathing in through the nostrils and out through the mouth. And then we'll take some more breaths just at your pace. Try breathing in and out through the nostrils. Just allow your face to relax. Allow your jaw to relax. Allow your shoulders to relax. Just sitting comfortably. And we're going to bring in some balancing to the breath now. So we're going to breathe in for a count of 4 and out for a count of 4. And we'll just keep that going for a little bit just to see how that works for you this morning. Just trying to bring in that balance. So in for a count of 4 and out for 4. And just continue at your pace. You might like to keep that going if you're finding a rhythm, or you might find that you'd like to breathe a little deeper. So you could try in for a count of 6 and out for a count of 6. And maybe you'd like to put a little hold between the in-breath and the out-breath. So if you're counting for 4, then hold the suspend the breath for a count of 2. And if 6 is really comfortable for you, then just suspend the breath for a count of 3. So you're working at your own pace. Try to keep it steady with your rhythm. If 6 is proving a little bit too much, drop down to 4 again. And then just let go of the counting and just sit and breathe. But focus on your in-breath and on your out-breath. So we're just switching off from everything else that's brought us to this point this morning and just putting our attention to the breath. And now we're going to bring in the banders as well. So we're looking for a short, sharp out breath as we pull up our pelvic floor, suck in at the navel. So take a nice full deep breath in. Pull up into your bandhas as you breathe out. You can breathe out through the nostrils or through the mouth, but it's a nice short, sharp breath. So you're really feeling that you're using your bandhas or your abdominal muscles for this to happen. So we'll take a few full in breaths. Pull up into the bandhas as you breathe out. In breath, release the bandhas. Out breath as you pull up into the bandhas. Make it quite a forceful breath. We'll take a few more. And one more. And just come back to normal breathing. And just notice if maybe your breathing has got deeper or just feels more even. And then you might like to recross your legs or stretch your legs out just for a moment because we're going to sit and we're going to do another breathing practice now, cleansing practice. You might, if you're sitting, you might like to do some ankle rotations. You might like to point and flex your foot. And I'm going to take my socks off now and we'll do a little toe spreading as well. So flexing the foot, pointing your toes towards your head and just spreading your toes as much as you can, bring them together. Spreading them as much as you can, bring them together. So really nice, easy exercise to do regularly. And then you can just wiggle the toes. Sometimes we just completely forget about our feet. And just wiggle the toes and we'll have some nice ankle rotations. You can support yourself with your hands behind if you want to. And round the other way. Good. And we're going to come back to our seated posture. However you choose to sit, as long as you've got that nice straight spine. And we're going to come on to our cleansing. So this is where we really need to pull in at the tummy, using your bandhas, pulling in as you are at the diaphragm as you breathe out. So I'm going to take my tissue and we're doing the cleansing. So we're going to put the thumb underneath one nostril and we're just going to take forceful breaths out of the other nostril. So we'll take about six, just six. So when you're ready, take a nice deep breath in. Place the thumb underneath the nostril and short, sharp breaths. You might need to give your nose a little wipe. And we'll take the other side. So blocking the nostril. Maybe you need to give your nose a wipe. Now we're going to take that 3 more times at your pace. So block your nostril. We take 6 short, sharp out breaths. Just keep changing over. Take a deep breath in between each round. And last round. And just sit when you finish. Take a few breaths. You might need to give your nose a blow now. Clearing the nostrils. And then we're going to take what's called Kapalabhati, where we short, sharp out breath using the diaphragm to force the breath out. We're going to take, it's very difficult to know how many, some of you are used to it, some of you aren't so used to it, but we're aiming for 3 rounds and you can take between 10 or 20 breaths. And if you feel it's not for you, not everybody really likes this breathing practice, then just sit and continue to get the rhythm of the breath without the Kapalabhati practice. So we're going to take a nice full deep breath in, let that breath go, and then keeping the mouth closed, forcing the breath from the diaphragm, and begin with your out breath. And when you've done your 10 or continue with your 20, take a breath when you finish. Let that breath go. And just carry on with your next round. So you start with a deep in breath. Let the breath go, keeping the mouth closed. Take a break when you're ready. And we'll move to our last round. So just take your time. Take the breath in. Let the breath go. Seal the lips. And then close the eyes. And just be aware of your breathing. And maybe if you were a bit blocked up, maybe just that very short practice has helped to clear your nostrils. And we're going to take one more cleansing breath, and some of you will know this, it's the lion pose. Now, some of you will stay sitting, you can stay sitting just as you are, and a reminder of lion pose, or maybe it's new to you, we're going to take a long breath, like a lion roaring, and you'll stick out your tongue, you'll bulge your eyes, and you'll bring your chest forwards. So that can be done sitting, or if you like, it can be done on fours and you lean forwards. So decide, or you could just be actually kneeling. And again, same thing, bulge your eyes, stick your tongue out and roar. And really, really let go. The whole thing is letting go of tension and also cleansing. It's also good if you've got a sore throat. So we are going to take a deep breath in. When you start to roar, when you run out of breath, that's the end of that practice. So you just, when you run out, you'll be like that. So we'll stop, take a breath, and then we'll do it again. So as I say, you might be sitting and just stick your chest forwards, or you might be kneeling, stick your chest forwards, or you might be on fours, stick your chest forwards and really jut out your jaw. So let's just begin. So it's something that we need to probably do at our own pace, but we'll take 3 rounds. So we do the first one, I'll direct you. So I'm going to be in this kneeling position this morning. Take a nice deep breath in. And when you're ready to breathe out, stick your tongue out as far as you can, bulge your eyes and roar. When you can't roar anymore, take a breath in, sit upright as you take your next in breath. Let that breath go. And when you're ready for your next roar, take a deep breath. When you're ready to breathe out, same again. When you can't breathe out anymore, come back. Nice deep breath, let that go. And I'm taking my last round now. Maybe you've got more to go yet, but here's the last one. Back. Let your eyes close for a moment. Just take a couple of very easy breaths. With your eyes still closed, rub your hands together, cup your hands over your eyes. Just pause for a moment. And then let your eyes open, sliding your hands up over your forehead, reaching up, opening up to a beautiful day, and release. Good. So I hope that feels good. And we're going to come on to all fours now, and we're going to just move into some cat movements. So if you're not very keen on kneeling, you can just chair. You can come onto the chair and you can still make your movements. Or just kneel on a cushion. So here we are on all fours. When you get onto all fours, make sure you've got a good position and think about spreading your fingers nice and wide. And we'll just do some tail circling to start with. So feeling into the back. Continue to stay focused on your breathing. Around the other way. And if you've got your toes flat this morning, then tuck your toes under. And if your toes were already tucked under, then put them flat. And we'll just keep swapping over. And sometimes we just always have a habit of one way or the other. So let's just carry on with our cat. So tilting the pelvis, arching the back, really pull up into your banders here as you breathe out and tuck your chin right in. And then we're releasing that and taking the chest through, lifting the chin, lifting the tail, and let's just continue. So just find your rhythm with your breath. Let your elbows soften a little. Nice, steady breathing. And come back to your all fours neutral position. And we'll turn the toes the other way. So if your toes were flat, tuck them under. If they were under, put them flat. And we'll just carry on again. Try to stay focused with the breath. Remember to pull up into the banders as you breathe out. And then just come back to your neutral position and put your toes back where you want them to be. And have a little tail circle. Tail circle the other way. We're going to take one arm and we're going to reach it up now towards the ceiling as you breathe in and let the arm float down. We'll take 3 more. In breath, opening up. Out breath, feel the arm just floating down. In breath, as we reach up. Out breath, floating down. Last one, in breath. And out breath. And we'll take the other side just at your own pace. In breath as we reach up and out breath. Down. And last one. And have a little wriggle. You might like to change your foot position. So if your toes are flat, tuck them under the other way. And we're going to take a twist. So taking your right arm, take it out in front, about ear level. Make a rotation. So you're turning your palm away from you. And then take the hand all the way round behind the back. If you've got long arms like me, you might even be able to what's called take a bind, where you hold on to your thigh, lift the shoulder and twist around. We'll just hold here for a moment. Look down to your supporting hand and look back over your shoulder. We'll do that once more. Look down to your supporting hand. Look over your shoulder and then release the hand, bring it back down. I do the same on the other side. So taking the left hand, take it out in front of you about ear level. Do your twizzle, so you're turning your palm outwards, away from you. Take the hand around behind the back of the waist or holding onto your side. If you can reach, pull that shoulder back, looking over your shoulder, looking down to your supporting hand, looking over your shoulder, down to your supporting hand. And releasing, and some nice tail circling again. Going to take a sunbird now. So you're going to take one leg out behind you. So we've got a good calf stretch. This time the toes are very definitely tucked under. And see if you can really work on stretching that foot as you tuck the toes under, pushing the heel away, really stretching through the whole of the calf, all of the foot. And take the opposite arm up to about ear height. Stretching out there. Take a couple more breaths there, pressing down through the supporting hand, really feeling that stretch, and back down. And we'll do the same on the other side. Tucking the toes under, nudging the toes a little bit more forward so you start to get even more stretch through the foot and through the calf. And when you're ready, taking the opposite arm out. Just stretching there. And when you're ready, bring the hand down and coming back. So we'll take the leg out again, stretching it out, and taking the opposite arm. And this time we're going to twizzle around. You might need to look at the screen for this. We're going to take a little twizzle around and twizzle back. So we take the same on the other side, taking the leg out, taking the opposite arm out, and just twist your body around as far as you can. And twist it back. From here, we're back onto all fours, and we're going to come into a down dog. So tucking your toes under. So now we've really got the opportunity to press through those toes, press through the hands, lift the knees just a little. So really pressing hands and toes, making them really do some work. Feel your abdominal muscles kicking in as well. And into down dog. When you're in down dog, just pedal it out. Tummy in. Looking in towards your navel. Allow the knees to be slightly bent. Stretching out there. Take another couple of breaths if you're fine there. And we'll come back down onto knees. So we're going to take a posture now called gate pose. If you have had enough kneeling, then you can do this standing. If you are kneeling, we're going to take one leg out sideways, and it's really good for trying to stretch into the ankle because you're trying to push the outside edge of the foot into the mat. So it's quite a stretch there to get the outside edge onto the floor, keeping the body straight. And we're going to take the arms out, relax the shoulders. And so we can come over to one side and back up, over to the other side and back up. So we'll just take a few there. In breath as you reach up. It's a lovely side stretch. And then we're going to hold. Doesn't matter which side you're going to hold on because we're actually going to hold on both sides. This is where you might need a block if you can't quite reach to the mat. And just hold there for a moment. Really enjoying that stretch. And then when you prepare to come up, use your banders, pull up into your pelvic floor to help you lift up. And then we can go over to the other side, reaching over so you feel a different stretch. I've got a nice inner thigh stretch going on here. Reach your arm up, feel that lovely long side stretch. And then if you want to, on this side, take your arm right over by your ear to really enhance your stretch. Holding on there, take a couple of breaths. Engage with your banders as you come back up and down. Good. And we'll come back and we're going to take the other side. So stretching the leg out. Again, one ankle might be tighter than the other. Really trying to edge the outside edge of the foot onto the floor. Sometimes they can be quite tight there. So when you have got your position nice and straight, take the arms out. And we'll just start again. Coming down to one side, you might need your block. Coming out. Just take your time. Just really enjoy that wonderful stretch. Just one more each side. And then we're going to hold. So have your block if you need to as you come down to the kneeling side. Reaching up there. Just hold for a couple of breaths. And then prepare to come back up as we take the other side. Reaching over, taking the arm up. And then you can take the arm right over if you want to. If that's too strong, just put your hand on your head or your shoulder. Let's keep breathing there. One more deep breath. And coming up and back onto all fours. And now you can have a choice. You can either sit back on your heels and come into a swan or a child pose, or if you're feeling a bit more lively, you can come back into a down dog. I'm choosing down dog. A really good stretch. Really think about the toes pressing into the mat aiming to really push the heels in the direction of the mat, looking in towards your navel, pressing the whole of your hand into the mat. Pulling your tummy in. Take a couple more breaths. And if you were down in child pose, just come up briefly into a down dog. And we're all going to meet in our forward fold. So starting to walk your feet towards your hands and your hands towards your feet. Let your knees bend as deeply as you want them to. And just let your arms swing and sway. Let your head nod, yes or no. And let's just relax the shoulders. Just let your arms go really wiggly. See if you can really move the shoulders with ease. It's no effort, we're just relaxing. Relaxing the upper body, just letting it hang there. If your hamstrings are complaining, let your knees bend a little bit more. Hold there for a couple more breaths. And then very slowly, we're going to slide all the way back up. Take your time very slowly, and we'll come to our standing posture. So into our Samasthiti, just take a moment, check on your shoulders, nice open chest, tucking the tailbone down a little, rib cage. Just take some nice full deep breaths. So feel the whole of your foot in contact with the mat. And just check where your weight is right now. Whether your weight is more forwards in the toes or more back in the heels. Trying to bring it evenly balanced. Try to pull up into your instep. And just try and lift your toes from the mat. And just really be aware of your feet. Couple more breaths there, breathing into the top of the head. And breathing out down to the feet. So we're going to take our little toe balancing exercise. And so if you just follow along, taking the arms up, reaching up, and bring the arms behind you as far as you can. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Now we're coming up onto toes. And we're coming all the way back down. Bring the heels slowly down. Take the arms behind you. Now we're coming back up onto toes. Just take your time. And bringing the arms down behind you, but not allowing the heels to quite touch the mat. So the heels are hovering, the arms are behind, the shoulder blades are squeezed together, and we're coming back up again. Higher this time, as high as you can onto your toes. And imagine you're holding on to a bar. So your hands can't go anywhere, you're holding on, and slowly, very slowly, slow motion, pushing your heels down and down. Allow them to hover just for a moment above the mat and then onto the mat. Bring your arms slowly down. Feel your new tall position. Take a deep breath and release. Good. We're going to now come into a chair pose. So bending the knees just a little bit, not too much, keeping the feet flat on the mat. So you're not pushing your knees very far forwards, a little bit, but it's as if you are going to sit down in a chair, which is a really good exercise, actually, getting into a chair and out of a chair. So pushing your bottom away. just as though you're going into a chair. And then see if you can straighten your back. So I'm tucking my tail in, trying to get a little bit of a curve into the lower back. So I'm really using my core muscles to do this. And then if you want to, you can take your arms up. If that's not what you want, you could bring your hands into the center of your chest or just keep your hands onto your legs. So I'm taking my arms up to make it a little bit stronger. And just see if you can sit down as much as you can. Hold on there. If this is really too strong for you, then come back up. We'll take 2 more breaths there. Think about using your feet as well. And then very slowly, slowly, slowly coming up. We'll just take a little circle there. And circle again. So we're going to, you might want to have something to hold on to with this balance now. We're going to cross the ankle above the knee. If that's too high for you, you can just cross above the ankle. So we're coming into a balance, taking the knee outwards. And I'm going to do the same again, chair pose in this balance. We're going to bend the knee a little bit, stick the bottom out. Try and keep the back fairly straight. If you want to, you can take your arms out to the side. That might help with the balance. Or if you want to, you can bring your arms up overhead. Might even want to bring your palms to touch. Now try and sit down as much as you can. Find your own way with this. One more very deep breath. And then straighten the leg coming all the way up. And bring the arm down. Take a nice deep breath. And we'll take the other side. So just take your time with it. You might just have your ankle crossed, as I've already said, and you're still balancing, or if you wanted to take the foot just above the knee, then you can. Let that standing knee bend. Let it bend as much as you want, sticking your bottom out, just as though you're sitting on a chair. Try and keep your back as straight as you can. Take the arms out sideways to start with. That helps, really helps with the balance. Find your banders and really press the whole of your foot into the mat. And then maybe you would like to bring your hands into a prayer position, or maybe you'd like to take your arms up. It's a bit wobbly here. Sitting down as far as you can. Whoops. It's always one side that's better than the other. Reaching up. So we take one more deep breath here. And straighten the leg and come back to Samasthiti. Take a deep breath on top of the head. And release. And again, deep breath. And release. So we're going to take eagle pose now. So crossing one arm over, taking the other one on top, and we'll come to this position. Or if you can bring your hands together, bring your hands together, but this is fine. For some people, just crossing here, they'll feel a stretch between the shoulder blades. So wherever you feel that you're getting the best stretch is best for you. So we're going to turn it into a balance. So we're going to cross one leg, take it up, cross it over. You might like to look at the screen and then look away when you're doing the actual posture. So taking the leg up, crossing it over, wrapping it around, or just crossing it over. If you can wrap all the way around, then do. Allowing the standing leg to bend. And here we are in our eagle pose. Take a couple of breaths there. Don't look at the screen. Just look at one spot in front of you. Stay focused with the breath. One more very deep breath. And then just release the arms, release the leg. You can fly back to Samasthiti. Take a deep breath in. And release. So we'll do the same on the other side. Taking one arm over, crossing the arms, and just bringing the hands to a point where it works for you. Very often the back of the hands facing each other is what works best for people. If you have got the extra length, you can bring your hands together. Try and find space still to breathe if you can. And when you've got your arms in position, we'll take the legs over. So crossing one leg, crossing it over, bending the standing knee, and then taking that wrap around if you can. It doesn't matter if you can't. And let's just see if we can take the posture. Don't look at the screen. Breathe. Just holding there, totally focused. Focused on your breath. One more very deep breath. And then we'll fly out of the posture. Come back to Samastiti. Take a nice deep breath, top of the head. And breathing out down to the feet. So we're coming down into a sliding down into a forward fold. Forward fold, we'll come into down dog, into cat, and then into child pose, or you can lie on your back with your knees into your chest. So let's just, you could go straight there if you want, but if you want to, we'll come to our forward fold by taking the arms up and sliding down all the way down into your forward fold. Take a moment there. Focus on the out breath. When you're ready, taking your hands and your feet away so that we come into a down dog. Again, really focus on your out breath. Stretching and releasing. We've got strength going on here, pressing through the hands, pressing through the feet. And try to let your body relax. One more breath. Down onto our all fours position. If you're still with me on this, you might like to take a couple of cat movements. And then you can either come into a child pose, sitting back on your heels, bringing your arms behind you. If that's not for you, I know a lot of people have knee issues, and just lie on your back. Maybe you prefer to lie on your back. So your choice. We'll take a moment. Just focus on the breath. Still trying to keep that balance. Smooth in breath, smooth out breath. Let yourself relax. From your position, whether you're lying on your back or if you're in the child pose, very slowly bring yourself back up to a seated posture. So just sitting however is most comfortable for you. And just check on the neck, check on the shoulders. Now you might find that you want to end your practice sitting. We're going to take another breathing practice, or you might find that after we've done the breathing that you want to lie down. So we'll take our time with this, but we're going to start sitting to do the breathing. You can lie down anytime. And we're going to take a very calming, soothing, balancing breathing practice, which is called Nadi Shodhana, and it's the alternate nostril breathing. So you're going to take two fingers into the brow center. The thumb will block one nostril and the ring finger will block the other, but not at the same time because it's alternate. Okay, so I'm going to direct you and we'll take a few rounds. So when you're ready, if you like to put your fingers into the center of your forehead, and you're going to take your thumb and block off your right nostril and breathe in through the left. Put the ring finger on the left nostril, breathe out through the right nostril. Block the right nostril, breathe in through the left. Block the left, breathe out through the right. In, right. Out, left. In, left. Out, right. In, right. Out, left. Now just continue so you can find your own rhythm. So you might like to use the counting that we started with. In for 4, pause for 2, and out for 4. Continue. Allow yourself to relax. Especially relax your jaw, relax your shoulders. So we'll take another couple of rounds and then just sit for a moment. And when you finish, keep your eyes closed. Just put your hands down to your lap and just focus on your breathing, just watching the in-breath, watching the out-breath. So this is a very useful, very peaceful practice. It's said to balance the breath and it's said to balance the energies of the energy channels that run through our body, according to according to yoga theory. And these energies are positive and negative, or they're called the sun and the moon. So we're balancing our sun and our moon energy. So you can either stay sitting now for the last part of our practice, our relaxation. Maybe you're very comfortable and you don't want to move. Or if you'd like to, then lie down in your Shavasana. And we'll just continue to focus on the breath, just letting go of everything else. When other thoughts come, which they do frequently, the yogis call it the monkey mind, jumps a lot. Just come back to the breath. Letting go for the moment. Just be here, body, mind, and breath all in the one place. And stay focused just a little longer. Now begin to deepen that breath. Just breathing in energy, feeling refreshed and renewed. And just begin to make some movements, fingers and toes. And you might like to rub your hands together. Cup your hands over your eyes. Just take a moment just to reflect on how you feel at the end of your yoga practice. And when you're ready, blinking your eyes open, taking your hands, having a big stretch, whether you're sitting or lying down, have a big stretch. If you're lying down, you can either stay there or join me sitting. Take your time and we'll come into a namaste. So thank you very much for joining me this morning. Hope you enjoyed the practice and I hope I'll see you again soon. Namaste. Bye for now. Sending lots of love. Have a lovely day.